Okay. Okay, hi, I'm Kat Bearfield. I'm the lead registered dietitian and wellness coach for .fit. I'm here at Club Performax presenting a in-service workshop on why .fit, how it works, and how it benefits the members. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm excited to be here. So let's dig in right away. So why .fit? And how it works. Now, besides myself, who is I'm obviously the dietitian on staff, helped develop the online program, we also have an extensive research team. So in addition to myself, we have other dietitians. We work with universities, University of North Carolina, University of Arizona, University of Hawaii. We have physicians that we work with, people in the sports medicine industry. And so we want you to know that not only do people like me in the .fit corporate office help formulate the .fit program and everything that we do, including our supplement line, we also have an extensive scientific and advisory board that helps us to do that. So we don't just sit in a room and just go. I mean, we do that to a certain extent, and then we have other people, experts in different areas who help to say, okay, that works and that doesn't. So that's pretty exciting. So .fit is also partnered with the National Academy of Sports Medicine with some of the exercise programming, in addition to the American College of Sports Medicine, and with ShareCare Fitness. And our mission is this. It's really the same as yours. It's really why we got into this industry in the first place. And it's to help people, right? That's why we're all here. How can I serve my fellow human and my community with my gifts, talents, abilities, education? And that's what we're here for. So we'd like to deliver a complete platform that basically every single person that you come in contact with has the very best chance to succeed in fitness. On their terms, right? On their terms. What works for their lifestyle, what works for their preferences, their body, their, what they enjoy, their activities that they enjoy. We utilize what we call an evidence-based nutrition and exercise format. In other words, evidence-based means that it has to be backed up by the research, whether it's nutrition recommendations, supplements, or exercise guidelines. Okay. It's suitable for a variety of goals. So if you haven't used it for only weight loss, you'll see that the algorithms within the program are also applicable to those who want to gain muscle, those who want to improve their performance while maintaining their body composition, for a variety of goals. So it's exciting because we're able to create these complex nutritional supplement guidelines and all these different things within like 7 minutes. It's right there, and we just would customize it to the client because you guys know your clients the best. We can give the general guidelines based on the research, but you would know how to personalize it the best. Now, ShareCare is a partner that we've that we've actually started to collaborate with more. You'll see, and ShareCare is basically a platform that contains everything other than fitness and nutrition. So it has your medical resources, anything you want to know about healthcare. You have physicians on there. And the founding partners include Jeff Arnold, who is the founder of WebMD. You guys know what WebMD is, right? Almost everybody has used WebMD before. And so he's a whiz at creating and putting content on the internet and getting eyeballs onto the internet. And then we have Dr. Mehmet Oz, who you've seen from the Dr. Oz show, Oprah, Harpo Studios, I should say, and then Discovery and Sony. And so we partnered with them because if you would look at their mission, you'll see the mission is essentially aligned with ours. And that is to measurably improve worldwide health. Okay, so we want people to get healthier, right? We don't want people to be diseased. We want them to come in and improve their fitness and not have to be in a diseased state like many Americans are. So how it works on ShareCare is you go onto sharecare.com and you can type in over 1 million different questions. And what will come up are a host of professionals and a host of different answers. So you can see in this one, the example that I use here, what are the complications of diabetes? Let's say you had diabetes, and many people do have pre-diabetes and diabetes, including the clients that we work with. You could get credible information on the site. So this is something that .fit was lacking, right? We had the fitness and nutrition component, we had the supplement component, but then what about the other areas that people need to address? And that's the main reason why we partnered with them. Our missions are aligned and it's credible information. So it's sort of this total resource that we have now for our clients. The idea is to build a collective wisdom. How can we build this collective IQ and get our clients good information? So you'll see, in this case, it's what is a coronary artery bypass graft? So let's say you wanted to look up something on surgery. You could see that there is, let's say, an organization who answers it, whether it's Dr. Mehmet Oz or the Cleveland Clinic or the American Heart Association. And you can see that all answers link back to the profile pages for the individual. So you can learn about the individual. Where is this person? Can I contact this person? Can I get services from this person? So it's really this cool resource because it brings us all together and combines all of our knowledge. You'll see that many of the .fit answers, or many of the answers on here, are also answered by .fit. We've answered over 1,000 so far, and you'll see within some of these answers that there's also ads to help drive sales, right? So in this case, if you wanted to know about vitamin D, you could learn about .fit, click on .fit, and it would link back to information about .fit, and hopefully back to you as you guys set up your profile pages. And you can see here, I'm on this particular page. I answered on behalf of .fit, and so you could go back to .fit, and .fit could then link back to your page, and we're all connected. So in addition to .fit's answering question, you could also answer questions. So Club Performax could set up their page. I thought your page is already somewhat set up, at least yours personally, and then you could set one on behalf of the club, and then you guys could start answering these questions, getting people to like your answers. You could announce events. You could link to other profile pages. You could, post blogs, promote your community events, so that automatically, when people join your club, they're already connected in ShareCare to you and to us. So do you see how it works? It's like this massive Facebook, right? But in our world, in our fitness healthcare world, specifically for us, linked to other credible resources, not just some Joe Schmo who wants you to know about some cure, right? For whatever. So that's good to know. Now, here's how it benefits us all. Here's how ShareCare benefits us all, because we got the question a lot, why did you guys partner with them? Well, obviously, you saw who the founding partners were, right? So that's some powerful people behind there in order to drive eyeballs to us and to get people in here. So obviously, I talked about the clinical healthcare resource. We have that, including alternative therapy, which is getting even more popular. Have your clients ever asked for alternative therapies? What are other ways I can deal with my health problems, right? There's that on there. We have a greater IT resource with their team. They have what's called interface and usability experts to help make the site faster. I don't know if you've noticed, but the site does click. It's snappier and it's faster and it moves a lot better than it did before. There's that community aspect for your club so that we all get connected. Leveraging the star power. I don't know if you know, when the first time Oprah said ShareCare, it actually crashed the ShareCare website because so many people went to it. So, and then the long-term goal, obviously, is we want your club to be the brick and mortar destination, to drive eyeballs and bring them in here. Again, connecting us all. Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm here, we're here, .fit here is to empower you and your clients with a complete solution. Not just the healthcare part of it, but also the fact that it's credible information. We want to help give you some motivation. You see some of our videos that we come out with. Some motivation, practical tools, which we're working on all the time, and continuous support. And together we complete the mission of helping to what we call save the world through fitness, in our way, right? Through us fitness gym rats and junkies. Okay, so now that we've got that introduction, I'd like to transition over back to the challenge that we face as fitness professionals, okay? Obesity in America. And all you have to do is watch the slides change. We started in 1985, or it wasn't me, but it was the Behavioral Research Statistical Center that actually started gathering stats on obesity in our country. Have any of you ever seen these maps before? And they're pretty powerful. So no data was collected on the maps in the states where it's white. And then you have the light blue states, about 10% of individuals were obese in these states. And then the darker would be 10 to 14%, okay? And then just watch it change over time. 1986, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. We have a new color, right? Darker blue. 92, 93, 94. Now we have all states have obesity statistics. 95, 96, 97. We have another new color. 1 out of 5 individuals in these states are obese. Okay. 98, 99, 2000, 2001. Another new color. So that'd be 1 out of 4 individuals are obese. 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. We have another new color, red. 1 out of 3 individuals are obese. 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. And so we have no blue states, and I don't mean Democratic states, okay? I mean that we have a huge issue, right? We have a huge issue. So what does that really mean for us? Like, I mean, you can say, well, it kind of means job security, right? It kind of means that, but what it means, and when I look at it, right, is that we're in a crisis, right? There's an opportunity to help a lot of people. And so many of you are fitness experts, fitness junkies, right? That's, you love to be active, you love to wear the gear and the shoes and all that, and to work people out. But the question I always like to ask is exercise alone a good weight loss solution? We love the exercise part of it, but if people only exercise, can we make a difference in terms of what they're dealing with, in terms of weight control, which is, would you say 9 out of 10 of your clients are looking for is weight control? That's my experience too. And I like to answer that question by looking at the research. So what does the research say about different weight loss methods? And if you look at this particular meta-analysis, it was over a 6-month period. What it measured was it measured weight loss using different methods, 3 different methods. We have a control group, and the control group was just in the study. They're the group that just gets measured at the beginning of the end. They don't do anything different. They're the control, okay? And over a 6-month period, they just lost a couple pounds just by being in the study. That's that first line represented by the little diamond at the top. And you can see that weight change, the lower the line, the greater the weight loss. Okay, so the second group then exercised only. They exercised for 30 minutes, 5 times a week. Is that your average client? I would say that's my really good clients. If my really good clients did that, right? 30 minutes, 5 days a week. They lost a ½ pound a month, right? Those are your clients that come in and they look the same, right? They look the same all the time. At least they're fit, though. It's a good thing they're living a good lifestyle in terms of getting regular activity. So there are obviously some clear benefits to regular exercise. So I'm not downing that. But in terms of weight loss, changing their body composition, it was a ½ pound per month. Now, the individuals who reduced their calories only, that is, they modified the way that they ate. They had to eat fewer calories. They lost 6 times more weight. So they lost 18 pounds versus, 3 pounds. Okay? And then the people who did both, what do you think happened? You can tell by the graph what happened to the people that did both, exercise and nutrition. They obviously got the best results, right? Not only do they get the benefit of the greatest amount of weight loss, they also got the best of both worlds, of exercise and of weight control. Okay, so I mean, to me, that is like, okay, do I want, that to me is a talking point for your clients. If you exercise only, you're going to lose about ½ pound a month. If you add nutrition to it, you are going to lose 7 times more weight by adding nutrition to it, a good nutrition plan. And you have a good nutrition plan because you tell, well, what is it? Well, it's not fit. Let me show you how it works, right? And of course, if you have your own program, that's the best way to show it because then you can show them how it works for you versus this arbitrary concept that's out there. Now, why use .fit? So obviously, we connect to our clients. And we give our clients the tools that they need to succeed. Not only do they need it, they want it. They might not know that they want it, but it's what they want. And they're going to get the results. You can connect to them at other 23 hours, because you and I know, well, we can control what they're doing when they're with us. We know exactly what they're doing, right? We know how many calories they're burning. We know how much exercise they're doing. We know everything. Anything related to exercise when they're with us is golden. It's when they walk out that door. That's the problem, right? It's what are they doing the other 23 hours? And with .fit, you can actually connect. You can actually see what they're doing. They track their food and activity. And why do we ask them to track their food? Because people who track their food at least 5 days a week lose twice as much weight. Again, going back, evidence-based. So when your clients go, why do I have to track my food? Well, you're going to lose twice as much weight. Isn't that good enough reason? I mean, just doing that alone. Progress tracking, because people who track their progress get better results, right? And it doesn't have to be just their weight. It could be their body composition. It could be a pair of pants. It could be their waistline. But paying attention, monitoring your progress is also part of it. And you'll notice in .fit, it pops up every 7 days asking you, it's time for a progress check. And when you put your information in, it'll give you feedback about how to adjust the program or where you actually were over the past 7 days. Then obviously the nutrition and exercise part of it. the customized supplement solution so that your clients don't have to guess what they should be taking. Who wants to guess what they should be taking? Right? Don't you want to know, based on your body, based on your medical history, what is the best thing that I should be doing? So we have that, education and support, and at the end of the day, what we have, everyone, is we have better results. When you can tailor something to the person, instead of trying to shove that person into a program, right, you're going to get better results. More proof that nutrition is the difference. So we had a 3-year research study done by an outside company, and that outside company took a look at the clubs that were using a weight management program. So let me show you the results of that. How many of you would like to triple your personal training? That's what the top clubs were doing. Tripled it. How many of you just would you like a 30% increase? Would that be good enough? Okay, so that was what it looked like. You could, on average, get a 30% bump in clients or training, or you could triple it. How about fitness orientations? Do you guys do fitness orientations? 3 times the show rate. Isn't that a bummer when people you have a fitness orientation and don't show up? You're like, and you have so much valuable information to give them. Why don't they just show up? So if you position it, it's all in the positioning, it's all in the marketing, right? It's all in the words. If you position it like, come in for your free weight loss program or your free performance nutrition plan, then they're more apt, based on their goal, to show up because it's tailored to them. It's not just come in for an orientation. I mean, some people like that, but they want to know what's in it for me. That's just human nature. So we have 2 times better member retention is what was found. We also have 2 times longer personal training. How many of you would like your clients to stick around twice as long as they do now? Right? So we have that as well. And then we also have, after 6 months, 1/3 of your former members are still buying products because you recommended them. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's just a matter of how can we show the client that what we have is valuable to them? It's in the words, it's in the positioning, it's in connecting to what their goal is and what they want, and then showing them that what we have is exactly what they need and want. So key point here, having a sound nutrition solution adds credibility and opportunity for us because it enhances our business, our livelihood, and what we do. Okay, part of the challenge as fitness professionals is what I call the calorie disconnection. And let me give you some stats to prove it, okay? I love stats, I love research, I love all that stuff. I'm a numbers kind of person. I balance my checkbook every day, so let's talk numbers. Okay, 1 out of 10 people know how many calories they need daily to maintain their weight. So, now why is that relevant? You ask, 1 out of 10, do I need to know how many calories I need to maintain their weight? Did you see those obesity maps? Do you think it might be somewhat important for people to be in touch with their body's needs? We used to be a society that worked the land every day and burned 5 to 6 to 7 times more calories, and we could hardly keep up with eating to maintain our weight. Now it's the opposite, true? The times have changed. Now we're stuck to a chair for the most part. We have to go like this to make a living. And we burn nothing, literally. Our metabolisms, most people's metabolisms during the day are at baseline. They're slightly above their basal metabolism. So no wonder they go home tired, because they're operating on this little hibernation mode the entire day. So we now live in a world where we don't burn that many calories, and we're disconnected from our bodies. We don't know how many calories we need or how much food to eat to maintain our weight. And we already know that's true. The average amount of weight gain, do you guys know what it is per year for the adult? Take a wild guess. What do you think it is? 5? That's a 7? That's what I would think, right? It's 1 to 3 pounds a year. It's 1 to 3 pounds. But think about that. If you gained, after you turned 18, a pound a year, what happens by the time you're 40? You're like, it's that client that goes, oh my God, I don't know what happened. When I turned 40, it was like, geez, I don't know what happened. My metabolism just shot. You know what I mean? And you're like, boom, it's all there. And it really happens slowly. It's the little things. It's the small decisions. It's deciding to eat that extra bite. It's deciding to not pay attention to a food label or portion sizes or things like that. So people need to know. That's my opinion. Some will disagree, but in my opinion, if you're not in touch with your body's needs, it's hard to manage what you don't measure. Okay? The average person thinks they eat less than they actually do, and you guys all know that. And the research supports it. When you actually do scientific research on people actually logging everything and then scientists giving people a fixed amount of food, the average underreporting is 20 to 50%. They're like, well, I only ate 1,000 calories. That's all, right? And the research shows, no, they really didn't. They ate more like 1,500. And in cases where people are eating large portion sizes, it's worse. The error is worse. They're reporting that they're eating 100% fewer calories than they are. So they're saying I eat 1,000, but they're really eating 2,000. And it's not that people are doing it purposely. It's something that's unconscious. It's especially with big portion sizes. Because the bigger the portion size is, you automatically, it's human nature to think, well, you know, I can eat more. It doesn't go through your mind. Maybe for some of you it does, right? You're like, ooh, there's more food. But for most people, it's subconsciously you think there's more food so I can eat more. And if you make a smaller dent into a larger, then it looks like you didn't eat that much. So it's natural for us to think that we eat less than we do. So think about those two things. One, I don't know how many calories my body needs. I don't know how much food I'm supposed to eat. Two, I don't think I eat that much. What does that set you up for? Weight gain, right? It sets you up for weight gain. And then finally, in this survey, by the way, is by the International Food Information Council, and they do this survey of 10,000 Americans every single year. Okay? And in the survey, only a third of people correctly identify that calories in general are most likely to cause weight gain. Only a third of the people say that. The other two-thirds, I don't know. They might say it was the carbs. It was the fact that I eat at night. It's my bad genetics. It's my this. It's my that. And all those are certainly influencing factors. But at the end of the day, who controls how much food you eat? And at the end of the day, who controls how much you move your body? And that's actually freeing information, right? Because it allows you to be in control and take control. You're not, you know, in this sentence of always being overweight. You can actually take control by your choices of food and of activity. So the point of this is, when you're not in touch with your body, then there's a problem of continuous weight gain. If you don't know, you're lost. And it's that going, you guys have heard that saying of what you don't know doesn't hurt you. But that's a complete lie, right? What you don't know does hurt you, especially in our day and age. If you don't know and you're clueless, you can't make good choices. So we have to know, and we need to use .fit to connect them to their numbers. So with your clients, it might be simple questions like, well, in order to lose weight, you know, do you know what you need to do? And that could start the conversation. And guess what? We can connect you to your body's numbers. We can tell you how many calories your body burns. Heck, I can even show it to you by wearing this armband and a little watch. And you can see it 24/7. And guess what? It's motivating. All right. Let's talk about some of the features. We call it, the reason why it's .fit, the FIT, if you ever wondered, is Fitness Intelligent Technology. All right, so some of the features that we have is, let's start with the basics. Let me tell you how many calories you burn. Guess what? I can estimate pretty accurately your basal metabolism by using your height, weight, gender, activity level, age, etc. And then I can tell you how many calories your body burns on average on a regular day. And you can see that target in the online program every single time you log in. You can go, oh, I burn about this amount of calories. How cool is that? If I know how much I'm burning, guess what? I can know how much to eat, right? That's the start. If I wake up in the morning, I go, oh, I burned 400 calories overnight sleeping. I'm losing weight right now. Cool. Or I know how much I can eat for breakfast. So it's information that empowers us. We want to empower our clients to make good decisions. The number of calories you should eat daily. So the online program will never allow you to set really aggressive, unsafe goals. Okay, we had to follow all the strict rules in all of the states to make sure that we weren't, you know, really breaking laws, to be honest with you. So it's going to tell you the number of calories you can eat daily based on your goal. We give you different menus that you can use, 8 different menus that were designed by dietitians, so that depending on your day or depending on your preferences, you could have a menu that told you, oh, I got to be on the go all day today. Let me look at my fast food menu. And the fast food menus have very common restaurants. I think we use McDonald's, Subway, and some other large chains so that anywhere you went in the country, essentially, you could find a menu and some food that would fit your needs. Food logging powered by Calorie King. So now our food logging is now iPad friendly. So I'm on my iPad logging food now, which is really cool. Drag and drop otherwise on your computer. And why did we say food logging was important? Anyone remember the stat? Yeah, you lose twice as much. People who log 5 days a week lose twice as much weight as people who don't. Okay? And actually people who are more successful at maintaining the weight loss also log their food on a regular basis. And there's many ways you can do that. You know, it's just what works best for you. We talked about a customized supplement plan, something that is based on your client's body, their needs, and also their medical history. Who does that? Who does that? Do you go to a GNC and then they go, let me take your medical history and let me do a screening on you first before I make a recommendation? Do they do that? But isn't that how it should be done? If you're going to put something into your body, right? If you're going to put pills into your body, shouldn't it be somewhat based on a screening process? And so that's what we do. We take the guesswork out. Walking cardio resistance training programs that you guys can create for your clients if you'd like to. You can print them out for them or they can access it on their computer, especially for days that they're not working with you. Okay? We have a fitness vault, so if your clients want recipes, let's say you want to try new recipes, they're in there. Shake recipes are in there too for meal replacements, etc. Progress tracking we talked about. And then my favorite part of the program, my ultimate favorite. We like instant gratification, right? Don't you guys love it when you get exactly what you want when you want it? It's like right on time. Is that the best thing? Well, that's what happened with .fit. When you log in, you can actually see if you're gaining, losing, or maintaining. You can see. Because you can see an estimate of your calorie burn. It doesn't have to be perfect. You see a pretty good accurate of your calorie burn. And if you log your food, you can see, ooh, I'm ahead of schedule or I'm behind. And there's even a little table that shows you're in a deficit, you're losing weight. It'll tell you that. Did you guys see that? I insisted it be in there. I wanted it in flashing red lights, but they wouldn't let me do it. But in the table, at least it says you're in a deficit, you're losing weight if you are, right? Because that's 90% of our clients. So instant feedback. It works if you work it. That's the bottom line. So 4 questionnaires to personalize the program. You can see here there's lose weight, improve health, build muscle, and then under improve athletic performance, there's 3 options there. So you have 6 total options of the different programs you can create. And again, the algorithms, the recommendations that we create for athletes are different than what we create for non-athletes. Why? Because athletes have to perform. And for athletes, if you lose weight too fast, what happens? Not good, right? Or if you gain weight too fast and you're some type of speed athlete, not good as well. So these aren't as aggressive for athletes that it is for the general population. Okay, now making that calorie connection. So on the summary page, you can see on the right-hand side the number of calories your body needs to burn every day at the top right-hand side. And on the left is the number of calories you need to eat every day to get to your goal. Again, you can see at any time of day the number of you burn, any time of day. Log in, I can see how many calories I burn. Same thing with calories consumed. If you log it in, you can see if you're in a deficit, losing or gaining weight, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, do you see it? The big blue arrow, right? You can see under the table, you're losing weight. And then don't you love the progress tracker? I love that progress tracker. You're smiling because you had a good graph, didn't you? Yours is probably graphed out really nicely, tracking it every single week, getting feedback. Again, if you don't pay attention, what happens? If you don't pay attention, what happens? What happens? The waistline just expands, slow and it's slow. And it's slow and steady. That's why they call it creeping obesity, because it happens slowly over time. I showed you that. You get feedback each week. So when you do your progress graphs, you can see on the right-hand side, it'll give you options on how to adjust the program. So you can choose to increase the deficit, maybe extend the goal date, maybe you decide you're going to start a new program, maybe you want to learn about why your weight fluctuates. But again, getting feedback. And you guys know how to tailor this best to your clients. But if you're not using it, then they forget to track their progress. And all of a sudden, a month goes by and their body composition doesn't change, and they're like, what happened? We didn't pay attention, right? We didn't track your progress. Okay, now, for those of you who like gadgets, those of you who want to even actually take it to the next level, studies have shown that when people use some type of biofeedback device, they actually get better results. And the research actually goes back to pedometers. Remember when pedometers were like the hot thing? I actually did my master's thesis on pedometers. And it's cool because people who wear pedometers take more steps. And it's not just my research that showed that. It's research everywhere, primarily in Japan is where a lot of the pedometer research was done. But people who get biofeedback, where they see like their activity, not only do they move more, but when they use a device like this and get coaching from you guys, they lose 2 to 3 times more weight. They lose 2 to 3 times more weight. Now, if you want to get someone to move, this is the device to do it, because then people will not be clueless anymore about... Okay, so biofeedback devices enhance people's weight loss results. And you can imagine, if you have a device like this on your arm, and I've been using mine for over 5 years now. Back when we created the original version of this with Apex Fitness, it was called the Body Bug. Obviously with .fit, we call it our own body sensor device. And when you can see your calories burned by the minute, and more importantly, when you can see the amount of calories you're not burning over a course of a day, people become aware, and you've all heard the saying, awareness is the first step towards change, right? It is the first step and necessary step towards change. If you're not aware of it, you're not changing, because you're clueless. You're like, I ain't got to change anything. You ever met anyone like that? What do you mean I have to change? But when you educate them, you know, then they can now go, oh, and have that aha moment to make different decisions. So not only do you see your calories burn, you see your minutes of physical activity. And what do people do with exercise? Do they overestimate or underestimate? Always, you said it, they always think they burned more than they actually did, right? And what else do they do when they exercise? Anyone else know the other human sort of nature to do when people exercise, especially if they do more than they planned on doing? Yes, so they tend to eat a little bit more to compensate and rest more. Do you ever notice that? Right, when you exercise real hard, your clients they justify, I'm just going to sit on the couch a little longer. I worked hard today. So it's constantly fighting that battle. But when you're in touch with it, there's no excuse, because then you guys can log in to their program and go, okay, I saw the big spikes in your workout this morning, but then what'd you do the rest of the day? And so now we're tracking it, and we can now say, okay, well, let's make some changes to that part of your routine when you're not inside the gym. So seeing the minutes of physical activity, we track moderate and vigorous activity, steps, sleep, which you all know sleep is a direct correlation with weight. The less sleep you get, specifically 7.5 hours, the more likely you are to be overweight and obese. So now we can track it. We can track how much and how long, and the quality, I should say, of their sleep. And then, of course, the last point. You get better results. So your client goes, well, I just want to lose weight. I'm tired of this. I've tried everything. You get that client right? I've tried everything. What do I need to do to just get the weight off? Okay, I'm going to give you every possible tool I have in my toolbox. And what do we have in our toolbox as trainers? We obviously have exercise. Then we have nutrition, right? Nutrition plan. So we're going to give them better results right there. A supplement program so they get the nutrients that their body needs. And then all the gadgets and devices that we can possibly get in all the different exercise routines, right? So now we're giving them everything we possibly can to give them the best chances to succeed. And that's what our jobs are. And if your clients want to use them or pick and choose, that's fine, but at least we gave them the information and the tools. Now, I always get this question a lot. How does it actually work? Does it monitor heart rate? It actually does not monitor heart rate yet, but it's very accurate nonetheless. So it has 4 different sensors. It's got an accelerometer, the same device that's in a pedometer. It's got skin temperature, galvanic skin response, which is essentially sweat response, so it measures sweat, and then the heat coming off of your body or not, right, if you're inactive. So it's got those 4 sensors. As you wear it, it collects that data about you. You connect it to the computer. You upload your information to your personal program with your statistics and everything in there. And then it will give you a high degree of accuracy. What are we talking here? We're talking greater than 90% accuracy for, in scientific terms, activities of daily living or during free living, which means that you're not in a chamber. So just real life, right? 95% for minutes of physical activity, and the same for steps. And there's one study that I cited here just so that you could look it up if you would like to, and then you'll see all the related studies if you would like to see the research. But it's really fascinating that we can get a device like this outside a laboratory that can tell people how inactive they are. And then the reward is when you do increase your activity level, guess what? You get that instant feedback. You get, wow, when I sit down all day long, I'm burning 1.1 calories per minute. If I decide to pace around instead or work standing up, I burn 1.3 to 1.5 calories per minute. At the end of the day, I'm burning X amount per minute. At the end of the year, I could lose 10 to 20 pounds just by these little small changes. So when we talked about in the beginning, it's the little things. How do I change my environment and how do I make choices to serve me, right? Because everything in the environment is going against what we want our clients to achieve. Do you guys agree with that? Right? Chairs and food is what we're trying to, and stress, of course. Now, battery is rechargeable. You do plug it into your computer to charge it. It does last about a week without recharging, but I don't recommend that. I recommend you plug it in every night, upload to see where you are, and just leave it in your computer for a few minutes and let it charge so that it's always somewhat charged. Memory. So a lot of people ask, how long does it last? Well, it's 2 weeks. It will collect data without you uploading. So if you're going on a vacation or something, then you don't have to upload for 2 weeks. Once it stops, that hits that 14 days mark, it's going to stop collecting data. Okay. So yeah, go on vacation. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about uploading. But then when you come back, we'll have all the data and we can look at it. Okay, so bringing the program to life, one of my favorite things when I put data up for a client is, again, I want the aha moment. I want them to see their bodies. I want to see how active they are or not. So they might see that their 30-minute cardio workout really only burns like 150 calories. You know, it's not what the treadmill says. And so it really puts things in perspective. It shows them that the hour that they spent sitting at their desk from 8 to 5, well, I ate more calories at lunch than I burned sitting at my office all day. You know, information that is, wow, life-changing. Okay, so that's what it shows you. You see here a calorie burn graph. The sleep, you do burn calories during sleep. The little peak or the spike in activity from a workout, and then what it is the rest of the day. And most clients, if they're sedentary, or most of your clients sedentary, they sit for the most part, you know, it'll be like flatline during the day. And again, when you know, you can make a change. Now, what I did, I took my own measurements, right? I told you I'm a numbers person. I like to see data. And for me, this is a typical day for me. Okay, sitting at my office, 8, 9, 10 hours. I do a little 30-minute cardio 4 to 5 days a week. I'm like, I'm good. I'm exercising 5 days a week, right? I got young kids. I'm a working mom, somewhat holding it together, somewhat, right? And I'm burning 1,834 calories in a day. Okay, guys, can you eat 1,834 calories in one meal? Right, I mean, how easy is that? How easy is that? Don't throw in a couple alcoholic drinks because then you're over for sure. But 1,800 calories like that. And that is the problem with most of our clients is we're not moving enough. And guess what? I'm here. This is data for me back from in 2010. Okay? As a working mom, sitting in an office 9 hours a day and working out 4 to 5 days a week and knowing what I know as a trainer and a dietitian, I was gaining a pound a year. I was gaining a pound a year. So what did I have to do to prevent that? I would have to give something up. I would have to either not have a glass of wine at night or not have something in my diet, and again, 1,800 calories is not that much food, or I would have to move more. I chose to move more. Okay, I chose to alter my environment, and this is what we can also teach our clients when we have devices like this. How can we alter our environment to serve us? So what I did was I decided, well, I read all this research by Dr. James Levine. It's very fascinating if you like research on movement, and a lot of you do have your degree in it. Levine, L-E-V-I-N-E. He coined the term NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically any calorie burn that you're not exercising. And how do people burn more calories or stay slim? And what he found is that spontaneous movement throughout the day, built in, right, can really control your body weight. So I decided to do that. I put my computer on top of a cardboard box. I decided to stand instead and type instead of sit. Okay, I know it sounds weird. I burnt 1.3 to 1.4 calories per minute versus 1.1 just doing that. And then instead of sitting, drinking coffee during my breaks, because most people have afternoon and morning breaks, right? I would go outside for a 10 or 15-minute walk. Okay? Prior to that, I was taking less than 5,000 steps a day. And the average American, mind you, takes how many steps a day? Do you know the average American? It's like 3,000. It's between 3,000 and 5,000. insanely low. Okay, that's what I was taking. I was the average person. And then I started taking the walks, and then I started pacing while I was on the phone. I would be on my conference calls, because I do a lot of conference calls like many of your clients do, and I would pace around. And I'm like, whoa, I'm up to 1.8 or 2 calories per minute. Okay, and guess what the end result was? By making these small changes in my daily routine, small changes. I'm still exercising 5 days a week, but I'm altering my environment. You see it. I could measure it. Almost 400 calories more burned per day by altering my routine. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't know, right? Okay, so knowing is the first step. Paying attention and then actually getting the instant gratification of seeing the data is empowering. Your clients come in and they're like, look what I did. I just made this little change. And of course, you guys can hold contests and do fun things with it, and who can burn the most calories, and who can do the most housework and burn the most calories doing housework, or whatever it is. But we make it fun for them, and we empower them with the tools that we have at hand. Okay, questions, comments on that? It seems out of the box, doesn't it? It seems out of the box, but we're here on the cutting edge. We're at the cusp of, are we going to, as a society, go in the direction of more obesity, or are we going to turn it around and go the other way? And we have to push the envelope if we're going to make a difference. Otherwise, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, right? So let's get into some online demo of the program. So here I am on ShareCare, and you can see we have .fit's put up a lot of different videos, and then you'll see some of my videos and some of my blogs as well. That's on there. And on the fitness tab. Okay, computer does not like me today. Here we go. Okay, now you can always start at .fit. This is where I recommend you always start anyways. Do you guys have a .fit URL? Okay, so is it clubperformax.fit.com? Okay, that's where you should start. Clubperformax.fit.com. That's where you start. You log in. You see the Manage My Account. Okay. Obviously, this is where you as trainers have your gray admin bar where you can, manage members. This is where you would manage your members. Let's go to the program. Admin is what you guys would do, and then members. So you log in with your trainer account. Adding a member, all it takes are these fields right here. All you simply have to do is add their username, type in a username. I suggest you guys standardize it. I'm sure you have a system for their usernames, right? First and last name, and then password. I'm sure that's standardized as well. Okay. Email address, and then you simply click. You want a valid email address so that they get the information from .fit. They get the specials, they get the webinar tools, they get all those things. And then you click save, and guess what? There it is. That's what it takes. How long is that? It's like you can do it in like 3 seconds, right? That's all you have to do to add a member. Once you add a member, they end up being at the top of your client list. So you see right there, I added a member on June 8th. Once you click on the name, you're able then to do different things, like edit their information. So you could, if you messed up, you can edit. You can create a recurring order, which we'll talk about. And then over here on the right-hand side is managing their ShareCare program. That's where you can go in and you can, with them one-on-one if you would like to, sit through with them and answer the basic questionnaires. Okay, there's only 4 questionnaires. It's pretty straightforward. You could sit them and enter it with them if you guys decide that you're going to set those appointments up. But once you enter in all those questionnaires and answer them, their program's ready to go. Okay, it doesn't take long at all. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. Okay, just like anything. Once they have the questionnaire set up, they'll then land on this fitness tab here. And on the fitness tab here, you'll see across the top are the main navigation, summary, nutrition, exercises, weight, body sensor. And then on the right-hand side always takes you back to .fit. So if you want to go back to their recommended supplements, this is where you would click to see their recommended supplements. And they still have their recommended supplements in there. You can also go back to your program, your list of clients. I'm sure you've noticed that, your list of clients. Whoa, okay, I should have did that. But your list of clients is also in there. Didn't like what I did. Here's a good lesson for me to teach you. Always log out of your other programs. If you are logged into multiple programs, it will automatically save the cookie and keep that person logged in. So that's a rule. If you're working in multiple programs, always log out of yours or someone else's before you attempt to manage a client's. Does that make sense? Because otherwise you're going to be looking at someone's program going, this isn't their program. And it's because you had another window open with their information. So always log out. That's why that happened to me. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's happened a lot. Yeah. Let me go back. If that happens, log out. You can go back to .fit, and then click on your admin members, or click on your own program, and that'll take you. That's why it did it to me. There we go. Okay, so we're on the program. We now want to teach them, and you guys need to learn this because you can't teach it if you don't use it, right? So you have to learn this. The basics of the dashboard is for them to know their numbers, the number of calories they burn and the numbers that they eat. The basic information after that is, well, how do I log my food? So those are the things that I would explain is, this is the number of calories that your body burns, and this is the number that you should eat to get to your goal on a daily basis. Now, good homework for clients, in my opinion, their first week, if they're open to it, because you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do, right? But if they're open to it, suggest that they just simply log whatever they're eating. They don't have to follow a certain plan or anything they don't want to the first week, but just to increase their awareness. That's a good exercise, because what happens when you start logging what you're eating? Does anyone have that experience, or your clients tell you? Like, well, I didn't know that mocha frappuccino had 9,008 million calories in it, right? They didn't know. It's a wake-up call. It's awareness. Again, you can't change something you don't know. So logging food, let's go over that really quickly. Logging food, you click on log food. Again, it's iPad friendly, so you can either drag and drop it, or you can click on it. Nutri-Grain waffle. Now, thankfully, humans are creatures of habits. And studies show that people eat about the same dozen meals on a rotating basis. Did you know that? So I'm like, thank goodness, because guess what? If we create the meals for the clients and they save them, then it'll be, logging gets super easy after we get in that habit. And you want it to be hard at first for a client. Why do you want it to be a little challenging for them in the beginning? Any idea? Because anything's hard that you're learning that's new, right? So if they go, well, I have no idea how much peanut butter I'm eating, I just put it on there. And you're like, well, guess what? You get to find out, yay, you get new information. You get to see that you're eating 300 calories worth of peanut butter, right? And maybe we should make a different choice so that you have more food for later. And again, it's always their choice to do that or not, but you can't make a good choice without knowing. So I put in Nutri-Grain waffle. You can put in a generic name. You can put in a brand name. You can put in a restaurant. Okay, and again, you just have to play with it to get to know the feel for how the site works. The products are named in alphabetical order as well under the brand. So you can just drag and drop it. You see the drag and drop over there? And then to just adjust it, you click on it and then adjust. Okay, and adjusting the quantity and the serving. And my favorite thing is for my clients to use a food scale, because I think food scale is like an instant teacher. It's like, okay, wow, I'm going to put my cereal and weigh it. I just pour it in the bowl. Right? And their bowl's like this. It's as big as my head. It's like, okay, well, let's see how much you're putting in there. And then let's log the grams and see how many calories that is. And guess what? You're going to come back and say it's 600. Okay, do you want to eat that much in cereal, or do you want to have more for later? So I love it. I love it when clients have those aha moments. It's eye-opening. So you'll see that. Now, let me show you how to make a meal. So let's say I did peanut butter, right? I see it there. Again, I'm going to show you the iPad version. You just click on the little plus sign. And instead of dragging and drop it, you can adjust from there. If you want to change the meal, you can. Again, changing the quantity is also optional. Okay, what's the other thing that you notice that happens here? Do you see the top of the page? It also will track your macronutrients, your protein, carbs, and fats, and where they are in there. And in general, you want somewhere around 50% for carbohydrates, just plus or minus 5 or so. And then a quarter protein and the rest from fat, quarter to a third protein, the rest fat. I think that's a simple way to just remember what it's supposed to be. And we also have, on the detailed view, ways to track certain nutrients. So a key nutrient to track during weight loss is, anyone know? I know you know, you're just not saying it. It's fiber, right? It's fiber. Fiber is what keeps you full. Fiber is what slows down the food going through our digestive system. Fiber is what controls your blood sugar so you don't get too hungry too quickly, etc. So, and most people don't get enough fiber. They get about half of what they need. So on the detailed view, what you can track is fiber. So if you don't remember, you want to jot it down. Women, we need about 25 grams per day. Men need about 38. Okay, and most women get about 14 when I look at the data, and when you look at the research, it's right around 14 grams most people get. And if you don't eat enough fiber, you don't have bulk in your diet. You guys know what fibrous food, you know fiber, but fibrous foods are in fruits, your vegetables, your beans, right, your whole grains, things like that. When you don't get enough fiber, you eat more food. You just take in more food, because it's like the more fibrous foods you eat, the more chewing you have to do. So, side note on the fiber thing, but the detailed view can actually tell you at the end of the day what their fiber is. So if they're complaining they're hungry all the time, look at their fiber, see where it's at. That's a really good indicator. Okay, back to the summary view of the food log. Once I create a meal, I can actually use this star. Do you guys see the star right here? If I click on that star, I can then make it a meal. I can name it anything I want to. Okay, and that now becomes a meal. Fave breakfast 1. Let's say I wanted to make that. And it will now be saved under here. Do you see choose a favorite meal? If I click on meal, it'll now be saved under my favorite meals, and then every time I eat it, I just drag and drop it in. Okay? So we don't have to search for it every single time. We can save some time, right, by making things a meal. The other thing that you could do is, let's say you have a favorite product that you like to have, let's say, and you eat it on a for snack all the time. You could mark that as a favorite as well. All you have to do is click on the yellow star next to it. Do you see that? Then I clicked on it, on the star, and then what happens is it'll become as part of your favorite food list next to favorites. And so every time you eat that, you can drag and drop it over. So one of my favorite things I like to do for my clients who are more experienced with food, they have a lot more knowledge with it, I create calorie blocks for them. So you can see I have 100 calories, 2, 3, 4. Many of my clients who are really good at eyeballing how much that they eat, and they sometimes don't want to find the exact food. They know they ate about X amount of calories because they've been doing it forever. Then they can I created those calorie blocks, and they can just drag and drop their calorie blocks over. And they'll know how much they've got left to eat for the day. And the way you do that, anything you can't find in the database, there's 70,000 items, right? Thank goodness we don't eat 70,000. Okay? But anything that you cannot find in the database, you can add yourself. So if you use this little click here button next to favorites, under favorites, click here to add any item you can't find. You can then, if you have the information, simply put what you have down. All you need is calories. But if you wanted to put other items in there, you could. So if you wanted to put, let's say, grams of, see how much stuff I have? Is that amazing? Look, create new food. Can you tell I've been using this program forever? And I can delete all those and clean it up if I wanted to. But you just need the food name, and then you need the calories. And if the rest, if you want to put it in, you can, but you don't need to. So it would be name, let's just say it was of a favorite deli, right? Deli sandwich. And it was one of them. And I knew it was 400 calories. And I had nothing else. I could then, that would be saved in my list of custom foods, my list of foods, and I can drag and drop it over. Okay, same thing if you got a food label, if you want to look it up on a website, people can make this happen. Okay, if they really want something, they can make it happen. If they don't want to make it happen, they'll find excuses. That's my experience. Is that your experience too, guys? Yep. Okay. So there's that part. Now, the other thing I told you, my favorite part of the program was you can see where you are at any time of day. If you're gaining, losing, or maintaining, right? So I just logged. You saw right here it tells me I've logged 468 calories, and I have a very important piece of information. This is one of the key parts of using the program, how much I have left to eat. That's key. After you've eaten a meal, well, okay, what would I get for the rest of the day? It's like your budget, right? If you only make $1,000 a month and you have to pay a certain amount to rent, how much do you have left to spend? It's the same concept with food. You have a certain amount to spend. And if you're logging 800 calories for breakfast, then you're kind of limited with the rest of the day. You're either going to have to cut back or you're going to have to move more. Okay, and again, working through the food logging and using the numbers and using the information to educate your clients. Okay, so I've got that, what I've got left to eat, and then down below a little further under my progress where it tells me right here I'm in a deficit, I'm losing weight. And it tells me by the end of the day where I should be by the end of the day. So I can actually see if I'm ahead of schedule or not. And then down below it actually tracks my progress. You can see, so from the first week I was flatlined. I didn't make any progress. Then I can see that, which is good for your clients, you know. And I wouldn't really give any credence to 1 week measurement, especially if it's just weight, because things fluctuate. I would look at weight changing over a period of time, let's say 2 to 3 weeks. If nothing changes, then do something about it. But that's why I always say, if your clients are measuring their progress, don't just measure weight, also measure something else, whether it be pant size, waist, or body fat, so that you can tell, hey, maybe the scale doesn't change, but my inches are changing, right? But we'll graph that out for you. And then you can even see, if you're using the program for a long period of time, what we've added this new feature here, which is it shows you your calories burned since the very beginning of time. So you can see I've been using this program, testing out forever. Look at that. I tested different, my weight didn't actually do that. I was just creating different programs, but it will actually save your data back from when we were testing it in '08. So it'll save it for you. You guys have any comments or questions about the food logging, or do you get the gist of it? It's pretty simple, right? Using it, interacting with it, tailoring it to your client, adjusting your recommendations, looking at data, seeing what the data is telling you. On the nutrition side, other than food logging, you'll see that on the left-hand side there's these menus that we talked about. These menus are there for them primarily to see how much food they can be eating for their calories. That's what it's there for. You can use this if you want to. Most people don't use them. I don't know why. Just most people don't. They just don't. They, you know, some people might. But this is what it would be like to eat 1,750 calories. This is what it would look like. And so you want them to get in touch with portion sizes. And you can see there's different ones. Athletic performance. So for athletic performance, there's some timing instructions. When should I eat? When should I have my pre-post meal? What should it compose of? You know, because for athletes, it's a whole different story. You know, when you want to eat certain carbohydrates versus others. On the exercise tab, there's a lot of different options. We have this new option now. If people aren't using the armband, they are able to log their calories. So if you just want to put in any activity that you wanted to, let's say you did some cardio training today, you wanted to log that you did weight resistance training, and you wanted to select circuit training with some general aerobics, and it was about 40 minutes, you could actually see the calories, and then you could log it and save it. Okay, and you can actually, as a trainer, you could go in and see what they did. And so if your clients hit a plateau, you can say, okay, well, let's bump your activity level up XYZ amount. Okay, again, more information. Yes?
Are those numbers based on averages, or are they based on the demographic information that was put in? So if I have a 300-pound man as opposed to a 130-pound woman, it's going to be different burn.
It will be different, so it takes into account their body.
Okay.
Absolutely does. Yeah, because I'd be having a fit if that was the case. Step tracker, if your clients, your clients use pedometers? Okay, so they can track their steps here. So they can actually track it and see their averages over time and make adjustments. And then workouts as well. You can actually create an exercise calendar for them if you wanted to. If you wanted to create a resistance training program for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can actually do that and assign it to their calendar, and they can go in and look on their calendar and print their program out if they wanted to. So let's say you work with your client once a week. You could actually do that for them and put it on their calendar. So let me just really quickly, strength and conditioning. Let's say you wanted to create, what's the date today? 13th? I don't even know. Fitness program, let's say, and you wanted it to be, based on weight loss, and you wanted it to be, let's say, 3 days a week for 1 month, and you want it to change. The OPT variation is basically beginner, intermediate, advanced, so you could leave it right there, or you can make it more advanced if you would like to, or change it. And then you could select the equipment that they wanted. So let's say they wanted a home-based equipment. Let's say they didn't have time to come to the gym on Fridays, but they wanted, they don't have any equipment at home. They just have their body weight. What could you do for them? You could just select their body weight, and it would create a program for them. Or you could select, let's say they had some free weights and a stability ball, which a lot of people do, right? Create their program, and it would do it for them. You could add the program to the list or start it. Let's start it. Okay, do you see that? It's on my calendar. And you can move that around, okay? You can move that around if you wanted to. You click on it. This is one of my favorite parts of the program. It always takes into account the National Academy of Sports Medicine model, which is holistic, so it'll always give you full flexibility. It'll always give you a little core training. If you're an athlete or for performance, it'll give you some balance training, maybe, reactive training. So there's a balance exercise. There's resistance. You can add and delete exercises. And what's cool about it, too, is they could actually click on it and see how to perform the exercise correctly. Okay? And it's got a description. And you could change that as well. So if you wanted to use this as another tool for yourself to assign your client a program, right, there you have it. You have another tool at your disposal, and they can't have an excuse to say, well, I didn't know how to do the exercise. It's like, well, then you didn't watch the video, right? I mean, it's right there. We're giving them all these resources. And again, no, it doesn't, because you have to be the person who tailors it to them. So if you want to say, I've got to work out for you, let's say many of your clients, do they all train 3-4 times a week? A lot of them do? Okay, that's great. So you maybe ever need to use this. But some of my clients, they could only afford once a week. And so I wanted them to do resistance training on another day. So I would create what they were doing with me for just that other day. And I would change it every week because you're the one who has to tailor it to them based on, and it's never going to stay the same. So I would definitely position it as that. It's an adjunct to what you're doing with them. Okay, now the weight tab is just a tracker. Just track their weight. And if you wanted to, you could also track their measurements. So let's say you wanted to take their circumference measurements, which I always recommend. Always, 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 because the scale's not always going to budge. So you could put in their circumference measurements down, and you could track them over time, and it will track it for you. You could also, if you wanted to track their BMI over time, there's a BMI calculator, so you could use that. And it's really cool to go from one level to the next to make progress. So that's very motivating to see your body, your BMI improve. And then, of course, I showed you this is the body sensor data, which is, I didn't get good data yesterday because I was traveling most of the day. But again, being able to see your data over time. And I love to look at weekly views. Right? Because what we talked about earlier, most people compensate when they work out. But if you look at a week-to-week average, you can see on average what they did. They might have exercised 3 days, but then what did they do the other days? So you can see here, based on mine, I'm slightly below my target based on, Sunday, which I was inactive, and then yesterday when I was pretty inactive traveling. Okay? You can choose the dates as well. And then finally, on the right-hand side, always going back to the recommended supplements. We could click that. You're going to get a personalized recommendation, so you just click on that. And you'll see that you guys can do this for your clients. Let's say you're logged into your client's program. You could add the items you wanted to their cart, and then you could save the cart. Do you see that red link right there? You could save it and name it. And I always like to put my recommendations. And the cart is saved. Okay, and then when the client logs into .fit, and they're going to end up on this page, they go to shopping list. You'll see the different shopping lists. Do you see the one I just created right there? So this is what you guys can do for your clients. You can create a recommendation for them, and then if they wanted to create a recurring order where it's getting automatically shipped to their home, they actually get free shipping. Okay, and it always comes to their door. They never stop buying it. And of course, you guys, it's always attached to your club, so you're always going to get credit for that. And that's really simple too. If you click on recurring order, you can add and delete programs or add and delete products. So if you wanted to add a program, you could and save it. You can ship it every month. If not, and the system will always email them first. So they'll always get an email like a few days before to let you know your recurring order's coming up, and they can always log in and change it. Okay?
When you're setting up the account,
Yes.
it used to have in there the address,
Uh-huh.
ship to address.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't have that now with the changes. So when you set up the recurring orders or when they want to order, does that prompt for the ship to?
Yes.
And the billing? Okay.
Yes, it will prompt it as you set it up.
Okay.
It'll go through it. Okay, so the recording order makes it to where not only is it easy for them because they're not going to remember, or they're not going to have to remember to buy supplements, but the other part of it is tracking. If your client's supposed to be taking a multivitamin once or 2 times a day and they still have like half the bottle at the end of the month, then you know that they're not taking it properly. So that's another advantage of it, and it's a prompt for them too. Okay, so again, another thing I don't have to think about as a busy person is automating things. Okay, what else do you guys want to talk about?
When you're working with an athlete in particular and the product lists come up of suggested, I have currently been just setting them, first of all, you need to do the research. I put it back on to them before you make any decisions on some of this stuff. This is what I'm recommending, it's what DotFit's recommending about the delivery system.
Mm-hmm.
And the athletic side, I think, is probably where we're all a little more wishy-washy in, and maybe the guys differently than I would be. But how to create a strategy for somebody that needs to lose a little weight, gain some muscle, and get fast. So, and how do we supplement them with the DotFit product for that?
Well, I would definitely set them up on a performance program,
Right.
and I would put them on a lose weight program.
Okay.
So the question is, how do I set up an athlete to
Right.
lose weight and also give them a good supplement recommendation? Okay, so set them up on a improved performance lose weight program, and then the supplements that are recommended for them as directed. I mean, literally for athletes, the most important thing is timing and the composition of the meal. So the most important recommendation for athletes is that they get a pre-workout a meal and snack, and then immediately right after, within 30 minutes preferably, that post-workout shake. And that's why we design the pre-post the way that it is, because it has the ideal ratio of carbs and protein. Carbs for pre-workout to fuel their activity, to make sure they have enough gas in the tank, so to speak. And then carbs and protein at the end of the workout to make sure they've got the amino acids as well for recovery. And carbohydrates for glycogen replenishment. So I would say set them up just like the program says, and then just work on their timing of the shake.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the most important thing. Why do we need it to be in liquid format? Can anyone guesstimate? Absolutely, it gets in your system a lot faster, right? If it's in a liquid format. And the way we formulate the post workout shake is, again, going back to the research. The ratio of carbs to protein in there identically matches what research shows for performance and recovery. Contrary to what most people believe, you do not need a higher protein to carb ratio either before or after, unless you're a cosmetic athlete, either you're a wrestler or someone trying to make weight, or you're a bodybuilder or something like that trying to get on competition, and you need to cut carbohydrates to be at a certain weight or body fat level. Most people need more carbs to protein, especially for morning workouts, because in the morning, what happens to your gas tank? Is it full or empty? It's empty, because what was your primary source overnight of fuel? It's actually liver glycogen, and your liver glycogen can only fuel your brain and nervous system for so long. In the morning, that's why they call it breakfast, break the fast. So you break the fast with a meal, and you replenish with carbohydrates and with a little protein, but never more protein than carbohydrates, unless you're that specific population that needs to have it. So pre-post workout is designed for that very, very reason. Optimal for performance and recovery. Now, if you're a cosmetic athlete, you might want to go weigh, and in your final contest dieting, in your dieting weeks, it's a different story. It's a different story, because you have to cut the carbohydrates in order to get your veins to pop out and to get leaner and to cut calories. And frankly, you know, protein can be used for energy as well as carbohydrates. So protein, you can actually serves both functions. So did I answer that question?
Yes, very.
Okay. Okay, and then use the athletic performance menu as well, because the way the athletic performance is laid out, it's got instructions on there in the program. You want to have your pre-workout meal like 3 hours beforehand, and it says that in the menu. And you want it to be a certain composition. What do you think you want that meal to be composed of? Mostly carbs or mostly protein? Mostly carbs. You know, when athletes hit the wall, they don't hit the wall because they don't have any more fat or protein left. Athletes hit the wall because they have no more carbohydrates left. No more muscle glycogen and no more liver glycogen, so they're done. Their nervous system's done. Okay, so athletic performance menu and timing of the shake.
How do you feel about the timing of the shake with the average 150-pound woman?
Right.
As he or she, or even he at 190 pounds. And they come in, they do an hour workout, and we have them do some cardio at the end or at the beginning of the workout. Then as they're leaving, because part of it is it's up to us as trainers to guide them to their next meal. Because
right.
now you've done all this expending.
Yes.
Should it work under the same environment?
Absolutely, but the calories might be different. So like a 125 person like me, I might get 1 scoop of shake, right? Or I might decide to go with a lean MR shake because it's lower in calories and it has more fibers to keep me fuller for a longer period of time. But the concept in the body is still the same. The human body responds the same in terms of recovery, whether you're 125 or 190 or 300 or 500. You still need to recover.
So we need to remember that as trainers too.
Yeah.
Is that when we launch them out the door, we've done a great job on the floor, is to take them right back to the counter for that recovery.
Yeah, and then once they have that recovery shake, refill the gas tank, get the amino acids in immediately from liquid form, then they should eat a regular meal within an hour and a half after that, 2 hours. Okay, but if they wait too long, they're waiting that 2 hours, I don't have time, I gotta go, I gotta run around, they get nothing in their system. At the very least, give them a bar. You know, give them a bar. But if they run around 2 hours, then you've missed that little window. You've missed that window for, you know, recovery and for growth, for muscle tissue. Your muscles are going to recover. It's just not optimal. You know, why be average when you can be optimal, right?
Why be average?
Why be average? Exactly.
Well, what if they're trying to cut calories and we just recommend the amino boost, so they're not really getting very many calories at all, but
right.
still getting the...
That's much better than nothing. The amino boost is a fantastic product. And I would just watch their energy levels because the amino boost is strictly amino acids, it's got 0 calories, right? So if their energy levels are dropping down or they're very tired or fatigued or they can't maintain their workout, then you might want to go into maybe a scoop of the shake instead. But have their body respond. Let them know how you feel. Yeah. And in my athletes, I have them do both actually. I actually have them do pre-post workout and amino boost, but I'll do amino boost first, right afterwards. Drink the amino acid down real quick, and then the pre-post. We did that for Jamie Foxx as well. Yeah, he loved it. So it's important, the timing and the delivery. And again, we go back to the research. How does the research show that athletes benefit the most in regards to timing and composition of meals? You know, we don't. It's all backed up by what the science shows. Yeah, always. You got a burning question?
No, I'm just trying to get them to make sure that we get as much as possible.
Right.
Because I think that as trainers, we are well above average. There's a well above average group of people in here.
Yes, absolutely.
That are very committed. They work it. They live it. They're committed to their clients.
Right.
And I think that where we really miss it is that we're great at that, but we don't necessarily take care of their nutrition as well as we could
Right.
as a group. It tends to land either on Rod or myself for those things, and that's okay as long as we're all on the same page. We're all interested
Right.
and committed to the same product.
Right.
And then the guys in particular have much more athletes on
Right.
their schedule. We have a couple of people that are dedicated more to a paleo kind of a diet. So what should we, and that maybe can be discussed this evening as well, is nutritionally in the .fit realm, are there things that we should be adding to that? There's things that they're missing, like, and I think that one of your videos was on there saying that good plan, it's a good calories, but you're missing some things in there that as a dietitian you would recommend.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we just need to be conscious of that as we
Yeah.
launch them onto their day.
Right. Yeah. And what I would do, my suggestion would be to track it, would be to track what everybody's doing, because you can't change it if you don't track it. You don't know if it improves, you don't track it. And the clubs that perform the highest in regards to supplement sales, and, you know, at least because that's how the numbers that you have, you know, they track everything. So if you want to set benchmarks as a team, what goals can we set for our clients? And it's not for money, it's for how do we get them better results. Better results, because then it translates to money. You measure it by the money and the results. But my suggestion would be set some goals up for you as a team. Maybe have clients, see what clients are on track and on something, and see how it changes over time. And then meet on a regular basis and hold everybody accountable to those results. So that's what I know the top clubs do, and then that's why the trainers that you see that end up at Neil's Ranch, you know, why they're there.
Right.
Because they make it a priority, they measure it, and they track the results.
When would it be like necessary or like appropriate for a trainer to refer someone to like an actual nutrition like expert? You know?
Okay.
Because like when I was reading and studying for like my certification exam, like I didn't. It said in my book, it said like the whole fitness side of it, it's kind of out of the scope of practice for us.
Nutrition is? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what the book said. It said that's not really. It said just be really, really careful to go too far in like someone's nutrition because it's like out of our scope of practice.
So the question is, when is it appropriate for trainers to actually refer out to a nutritionist or a dietitian? Right. So in general, that's why you guys have us, because we have the dietitians and nutritionists that put together the online program, and the online program has the guidelines built into it. So if you use the program and the guidelines, you're doing fine. Out of scope for sure, out of practice for you would be using nutrition to treat any kind of medical condition. So if you're going, okay, my person has high blood pressure and diabetes, you need to eat X, Y, Z, that is out of scope of practice for you. Yeah. Or if they have an ulcer, you need to, and let me write a diet for your ulcer. That's out of scope of practice for you. So it's medical nutrition therapy, using nutrition to treat diseases that is legally out of your scope of practice and actually can be malpractice. So use the program, because the program is going to answer 90%, and then all your other clients who have medical nutrition issues, they can email me. Yeah. And we have other dietitians on staff that can help them out. Okay? All right?
That's actually a good question. I like to
Yes.
tell members that, you know, we're licensed through .fit. We
Right.
use their platform and, you know, their cadre of professionals so that
Right.
we can, you know, rely on them. So,
Exactly.
you know,
You will get that question whenever you give a tour. Oh, do you have dietitians on staff? Or
You can say yes.
Or a nutritionist on staff?
you know, we partner with .fit for that.
Yes.
reason.
The answer is absolutely yes, we do. You should say yes. If you get a question, do you have dietitians or nutrition experts on staff? Your answer is we absolutely do, 100%. We have a whole team of them. And you have instant access to them. We can get you in contact with them. And that's the truth. It really is.
She said the answer is just Margaret. That was Margaret.
Margaret.
That's right. That's right. And if Margaret doesn't know, Margaret can email me if she needs any help. So, yeah, and especially your youth athletes. If you have a youth athlete that is, you know, wanting to lose weight or you wanting some guidelines and monitoring, then, yeah, I definitely will monitor them for, you know, take a look at their stats, make recommendations, we work together, etc.
We do have a full team of young athletes that are really working hard right now, and they're kind of coming into their bodies. And
Yes.
Kirk is really training them on how to run appropriately and how to control the core and all the fun stuff that we love to see young athletes go through. And I know that their parents are also struggling in their nutrition, so we're trying to be that whole house for them.
Yes.
So mom and dad can come, learn, and then they can teach their children so that we can start making some changes to the color in the state of Florida. In our county would be great.
Yes, exactly.
So this is really a big deal for us.
Well, you guys should be very proud. I'm sure you are. You're doing some great work here in Melbourne, so I appreciate you having me.
Thanks.
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Kat.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
hey, guys.
Andrew was on the table.
That is the only thing,
Mhm.
I know some of our staff, and still some of us have been doing this for a long time,
Mhm.
is we do struggle on selling. We're not natural salespeople, not all of us, and how to talk about the products and the supplements.
Yep.
It's the best way to get front desk staff and trainers, everybody
Yep.
familiar with the products and how to explain them. Is it just to keep going through the descriptions, or?
Yeah, again, I would do what I go back to what the question was about getting athletes to make nutrition a priority. I would go back to setting goals and holding people accountable. So if you want the product of the week to be Thermexcel, give me 2 or 3 talking points of Thermexcel. How would you sell it? And then go over it in a staff meeting, and the same thing would be the next week. So That's what I would set. As a team, let's figure this out. Let's master our products. Let's become champions of them. And let's hold everybody accountable. And as a result, we sell more, we succeed together, and we celebrate that success. So we do have tools for you. So you'll see here in FitPro TV and .fit, like this is me, what I just, how to run a session 1 using .fit. We're currently updating it, but we have things like, coaching and accountability. There's one particular in here that I go over selling points, like how do you present the .fit program. You don't have to use the entire video, but what you can do is you can take the talking points. So we have so many resources for you guys in the video format, and we know you guys want to watch video, but I would say look at your resources at hand. How to sell and present .fit. That's the one that I would recommend. And then we have product videos too. So the product of the week's Thermacell, everybody's got to watch the video, and everybody's got to, do whatever. And
Product videos are really good too.
yeah, so we have it all there for you guys, and we want you there. So let me just give you my last thing here. Oh, I do want to share this with you because I thought it was really interesting. So we get the question about why .fit all the time, right? Why .fit? And to me, it boils down to what we call integrity, right? Integrity being that .fit will never tell you that supplements alone will be a weight loss program. We'll never tell you that. It's always about the program. It's always about the big picture. .fit will never have supplements tainted with things that shouldn't be in there. We'll never make products that don't have enough research to back it up. So to me, it boils down to integrity. Now, here's what happens when you don't have integrity. So I don't know if you saw this in the headlines or not, but bodybuilding.com, the president, and I think he's an owner too, he got indicted in federal court for products being contaminated with illegal anabolic steroids. There are several products that were that way. Imagine if you're an athlete or an Olympic athlete and you're taking these supplements off of bodybuilding.com. You get busted. I mean, it happened. It's happened. And that's the thing. That's the industry that we work on. The supplement industry is not regulated, so anybody can make anything and put anything in it. And when you guys partner with a company like .fit, you can trust that with our manufacturing practice, because we have stringent guidelines, because we have a scientific advisory board, that this stuff will not happen. This is the largest online retailer of dietary supplements. So you can know that, with .fit, that this stuff doesn't happen, because we are in an FDA registered lab, and this is not what we do. So I wanted to make that point, and I also wanted to point out that we want you to be rewarded. We want to reward you when you make a difference. So to incentivize you, the more supplements you sell, the more you can win, whether it's discounts on your own supplements. We give out an iPad too for the top 3 Fit Pros each month. So if you're looking to get an iPad, there's there. And then you're already entered, because if you're in the system already. If you're not in the system, you need to get .fit certified in the system. And then the top winners, I'm sure you saw it on Facebook, but the top winners get to spend a weekend at Neil's Ranch in California. And they get to pick his brain. I don't know if you know Neil Ranch, our founder of the company. He founded Apex Fitness. He sold it for millions of dollars to 24 Hour Fitness. He founded the National Academy of Sports Medicine, another multi-million-dollar business. He does not have a formal education. He simply loves what he does, and he figured it out. So if you're looking for some inspiration, if you're looking for a good time out in California, if you want to go horseback riding with him and pick his brain, I mean, he was also a top bodybuilder as well. Several years ago, I would say go for it. Be the top Fit Pro, or one of the top 5. So that's also fun. And then for me, I would like to give you my contact information. So the reason why I put all my credentials up there is because I worked really hard to get them. So I want credit. Thank you very much. No, just kidding. And then I have email, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you want to connect with me, any of those work perfectly fine. I check them all the time. But I would love to hear from you.